Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn the second phase of the Indian national movement, 1905 to 1916. We have already learned about the first phase of the Indian national movement, 1885 to 1907. Now, today we learn 1905 to 1916. Now, what is the specialty of this 1905? 1905 is a partition of Bengal. Now, who is responsible for this partition? Lord Curzon. He was also known as the unpopular Viceroy of India. So, according to the government version, the government regarded the size of the province of Bengal is too large to be administered by a single provincial government. That was the government version. Then they also decided to promote the development of the backward Assam. And the government also felt the urgent necessity to unite the scattered sections of the Oriya-speaking population under a single administration. These are the government version. But the real motives behind the partition is entirely different. Curzon has certain real motives. Now, what are the real motives behind that? To weaken the Congress and the Indian national movement. To weaken the Congress and the Indian national movement. Why? Because they don't want the Indians to be united. And also they wanted to divide the Hindus and the Muslims. And also to demonstrate the strength of the British Raj. These are the real motives behind the partition of Bengal. But because of all this, a group of people, assertive nationalists, they came out from the Congress sections of India. Now, when this Congress, Indian National Congress was formed, it was formed in 1885. And those people who were in the Congress and those moderates or the early nationalists were loyal to the British people. But from 1906 AD, the people who were inside the Congress, they wanted to get the freedom not by demanding or writing resolutions. They wanted to have a separate group and they formed the assertive nationalism. And who all were these prominent members who formed this assertive nationalism? Or they were also known as the radicals. Now, who all were there? Who were the prominent members? They were also known as the trios, Lal, Bal, and Pai. That is, Lala Lajpat Rai and Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Bipin Chandra Pal. Now, when we talk about this, all three great personalities, why they came out from this International Congress is because they don't have faith in the English institutions and they did not support the moderate theory and they did not believe in adopting the constitutional methods of the moderates. Their only aim was to attain Swaraj, or we call it as complete independence. This is the main motive behind the Indian or the assertive nationalist. And this assertive nationalist, what are the methods of struggle or the methods of struggle used by this assertive nationalist? What are the methods they used? Now, when we talk about the methods they used to fight against the Britishers. Now, what are the methods they used? They gave more stress on revival of India's glory. That means the radical nationalist or Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he started Ganpati festivals, Shivaji festivals, and also he started many akharas and latiklas to make the youth brave and strong. That is the main aim of, or to bring the revive the past glory of India is they started many festivals. Now, another method they use is boycott. Why? Boycott all the Videshi goods. Boycott the foreign goods. And Swadeshi is also there. Swadeshi, they wanted to use only the Swadeshi goods. Why? The things which is produced in India. That's what it says. Swadeshi and boycott are the two sides of the same coin. That is what they used in the in fighting with the Britishers. So it says that, and also they believed in the self-dependence and sacrifice. Through self-dependence and sacrifice, they can revive the India. At the same time, they can make the India a welfare country. That is what they believed. Then it says that they also started national education. How? Moral education. Then they had secular education, political and technical education. They started to make the Indian people improve the standard of life. And also they wanted to bring the people in the patriotic lines. So they started many educations. Now also they wanted to involve the whole masses to fight against the Britishers. This is what they do. The methods of struggle they used as to fight against the Britishers, stress on revival of India's glory. Then they use the Swadeshi, then also boycotting the not only the foreign goods, but also the services, the titles, the honors, and what all they got from the Britishers. They wanted to give it back and to fight against the Britishers. Now, who all are the great personalities who fought against this? That we already told you, the trios, the Lal, Bal and Pal, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai, and we learn about Bipin Chandra Pal. Now let us learn about the great personality Bal Gangadhar Tilak. He was also a great freedom fighter. He was also known as the father of the Indian unrest. Now his famous quote, "Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it," is well remembered in India even today. So you know that Tilak was born in a middle class family in Maharashtra. He was a great freedom fighter. Now when we talk about Tilak and the Congress, he organized the Swadeshi and boycott agitation after the partition of Bengal. He also launched the Home Rule League in 1960, and he rejoined the Indian National Congress in 1960 when both the groups of the Congress were reunited. Then he had certain political beliefs. Tilak talked about Swaraj. I already told you, Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. This is what his main aim. His main aim was his main aim is complete independence. That means Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. That is the main quote even today the people remember. He was of opinion that Swaraj can be achieved only through self-sacrifice and self-dependence. Then Tilak believed the political power could not be achieved through begging. There was a need for starting political movements. He was in favor of launching Swadeshi and boycott movement. This is what his political beliefs. Now, when we talk about the next personality, Bipin Chandra Pal, his contribution towards the growth of nationalism or the national consciousness. Bipin Chandra Pal is popularly known as the father of the revolutionary thought in India. He was a father of revolutionary thought in India. He joined the Brahmo Samaj in 1876 and the Congress in 1887. Now, Pal also pleaded that Arms Act should be repeated. And during the anti-partition, he toured several parts of the country, and wherever he went, he carried with the message of Swaraj, boycott and Swadeshi. And when we talk about his ideas on the national education, Bipin Chandra Pal wanted to educate or wanted the education to be organized in the nationalistic lines. Pal was of opinion that education should become an effective movement or effective instrument for social progress. That's what his opinion. Now, when we talk about the next personality is Lala Lajpat Rai. When we talk about Lala Lajpat Rai, the freedom fighter, this freedom fighter was popularly known as Sher-e Punjab, or we call it as Lion of Punjab. Now, his contribution to the growth of nationalism, he founded the Indian Home Rule League in America. Okay, Lala Lajpat Rai started the Home Rule League in America. And also, Rai founded the Servants of People Society, which worked the freedom movement as well as the social reforms in our country. It is what when we talk about Lala Lajpat Rai. Lala Lajpat Rai led the boycott demonstration against the Simon Commission. We know that he was assaulted in the Lathi charge and laid down his life for the country. And this gave a great disturbance in the minds of the Indian people, and they started to fight against the Britishers. Now it says that before his death, he said, "The Lathi blows inflicted on me would prove one day as nails in the coffin and of the British Empire." Nails in the coffin of the British Empire. This is what he said before his death. That means after his death, this gave a great blow to the Indian people, or the Indian people were disturbed by his death, and they started the struggle movement again. Now, when we talk about the partition of Bengal, the Bengal is already partitioned. That is in 1905. So in 1906, there was another organization was formed. That is the Muslim League. It is in 30th December 1906, under the leadership of Nawab Salimullah, they formed the Muslim League. And in 1907, they selected Aga Khan as a permanent president. So, what are the objectives of this Muslim League? To promote amongst the Indian Muslims the feelings of loyalty towards the British government. That is the main objective of the Muslim League. And also to promote or to protect the advance of the political rights, to protect and advance the political rights of the Muslims, and to promote friendly relations between the Muslims, and also to promote social and economic interests of the Muslims. And also they wanted to secure a rightful place for the Muslim in the Indian society. These are the objectives of the Muslim League. They wanted to promote among the Indian Muslims the feelings of loyalty towards the British government, and to protect and advance the political rights of the Indian Muslims, and to promote friendly relations between the Muslims and other communities of India. Okay, and to promote social and economic interests of the Muslims, to secure a rightful place for the Muslims in the Indian society and the economy. Thus, in 1905 to 1960, when we talk about this 1905 to 1960, the second phase of the international movement, there was a lot of changes. There was partition of Bengal, and also another Muslim League also was formed. These are some of the main points that you need to learn from this lesson. So let me conclude here with the assertive nationalists, the great personalities, the trios, Lal, Bal, Pal. Then we have to learn about the methods of struggle. Then we need to learn about the different great personalities and their contributions. And you have to learn when this Muslim League was formed and their objectives. Thank you.